Hey everyone, today we're going to be taking a look at the brand new Transit Pro line from Bellroy. And I was really excited when this was announced as I am a big fan of the previous iteration of the Transit line. And with these bags, Bellroy just continues their streak of really awesome new releases this year. We recently took a look at the Light Travel Pack, the Venture 26 liter Travel Pack, and now we have the Transit Pro backpacks in a 22 and 28 liter size. I've had a chance to use these now for a couple of weeks, and in this video I'm going to be talking about what it's been like to test them. I'll show you how I've loaded them out, walk through all the features, and I'll also talk about how they compare to some of the other similar bags that are currently on the market. Before jumping into the video, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Danny, and on this channel we love reviewing popular travel and everyday carry gear. If you like these types of videos and you'd be interested in seeing more, please consider subscribing as it helps the channel out a lot. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and jump in. Starting off with the overall aesthetic, the appearance here has been updated slightly, but in general, the overall style feels very similar to the previous iteration of the Transit Workpack, which is a great thing in my opinion because I really loved the look of that bag. I used it a ton for lots of different use cases. It has Bellroy's typical minimal, but kind of more sophisticated style. It blended in very nicely in a more professional setting with a nicer outfit, while still being great for exploring a city and traveling. As far as the materials, the bags feel very solidly built. Bellroy uses recycled nylon fabrics for the exterior, which feel like they're going to hold up well to rougher usage and offer a nice amount of weather resistance. They also don't feel overly heavy, and I like that they're not that rigid, so they're going to mold and adapt to the items that you're carrying with you. That helps them look a little bit more compact when they're not as full. And then beyond that, you also have the really nice aqua-guarded YKK zippers all throughout. Continuing along the exterior, the implementation of the logo on the front has been updated a little bit, but in general, it's still fairly minimal, not super prominent, which I like to see. And then at the top of the bags, you have a nice carrying handle. So this is Bellroy's typical style. It's got kind of a seatbelt-like material, very durable. Doesn't stick out too much from the top of the bag, but will still offer enough space so that you can easily grab it. And then one thing to note about the silhouette and the materials of the bag is that it doesn't stand up too consistently on its own, which is a little bit unfortunate to see. So when you place this down, it will tend to lean and want to fall forward, especially if you take your laptop out and the weight starts to shift towards the front. So I did find myself leaning this just to have a little bit more peace of mind when I placed it down. Moving into the capacity, the Transit Workpack Pro comes in at 22 liters and 28 liters. So really great, versatile sizes. The original version of the Transit Workpack came in at about 20 liters, so great to have a slightly larger but still very EDC friendly size with the 22 liter version. And then the Transit line previously also had a 28 liter size, so similar to the one that I have here. And I actually preferred the larger size a little bit more just because of the extra space for longer days, for minimal travel. This might be a little bit big for EDC for some people. In that case, the 22 liter might be the more appealing option if you have a more minimal loadout or it just works better for your height. But regardless, I like that both of these, even when they're a little bit more packed out, don't feel overwhelmingly bulky. They manage to maintain a sleeker profile, making them great for navigating crowded areas, jumping onto public transit, and carrying onto pretty much any domestic or international airline. Continuing with the harness system, so far the bags have been really comfortable to wear. This is definitely one of the biggest updates with the Workpack Pro line. I really like the improvements that Bellroy has made here. They're using a very robust, comfortable, thick padding on the inside. They have a breathable mesh to help prevent moisture from building up. And then the straps also have a good width so that the bag doesn't dig into your shoulders when it's a little bit more packed out. On the straps, you have an adjustable sternum strap with a magnetic buckle to allow you to release this a little bit more quickly. And then the straps do have some strap management included here. Haven't noticed them getting loose or anything like that while I've been wearing the bag. And then on the back panel, similar level of improvements. Love the padding that's been included here. It's robust, well distributed throughout the back. You also have that same breathable mesh and a good bit of elevation to create this deep air channel to provide you with airflow while you're walking around throughout the day. And then another great addition here is the luggage pass-through that's going to allow you to rest this on a suitcase while traveling to save some weight on your back. Jumping into the organizational options, the bags have a nice variety of pockets all throughout. The layout is going to be the same for both sizes, and there have been some updates from the previous version of the Transit Workpack. That one previously had a zippered quick access pocket on the front with the vertical orientation, as well as a top zippered quick access pocket. Both of those are no longer present, and you now have this new larger zippered admin / quick access area that kind of combines those things into this interesting new compartment, which I think is actually really useful. I like these larger, deeper compartments on the front of bags, particularly when they go down this deep, as they just give you the flexibility to store pouches, jackets, and larger items. And so in the 22-liter size at the moment, I have a couple of items resting here. There's still some leftover capacity, but I tossed in a Bellroy pencil case and then a sunglasses case. And the last thing that I have here is my GoPro, just kind of resting down there at the bottom. But even with those items there, I still could have tossed in another pouch or my jacket. And then you have a zippered pocket on the front portion of this area, which has kind of a nice elastic, softer material. So it'll be a great spot for tech accessories or some sunglasses. At the moment, I have my charging cable and a pair of AirPods. So this provides a good bit of flexibility with what you can store. And then on the back, you have a couple of additional options, a slip pocket that's gonna be a good spot for a mouse, charging cables, a couple of slots for a pen, a stylus. I was able to fit my flashlight in there. And then on the 28-liter size, I just have another variety of items. So same layout, just some additional capacity. And in this compartment, I was able to fit a larger battery bank. And just kind of sitting here in the compartment, I have an alpaca admin pouch, which was able to slide in there. And then I also have a pair of sunglasses. You can also see that it's a little bit of a lighter lining, so you'll have some good visibility even as you're looking down towards the bottom. And then on the back here, I have my Field Notes notebook, but also a place to easily grab, cables, my wallet, and then I have just another pen stored there. And then on each side, you have zippered pockets that are going to be similar to the pockets that were previously on the Transit line and that Bellroy has also been using in their Venture Ready bags. And so these are going to be great for when you're swinging the bag around. You want to be able to reach a pocket a little bit more easily without taking it all the way off. So you have this locking style zipper that you need to kind of pull the tab up so that you can release it. Well protected here, and I like that it's pretty close to your back, so it's not as obvious that it's there. Diving into the items that I have in each bag, in this one I just have my headlamp, which I like to be able to access quickly, and then the compartment has a little lanyard with a clip that's going to be a great spot for your keys or a multi-tool, good amount of space. And then on the 22-liter size, same style, just slightly smaller. And in this one, I actually have a Tom Bin Ghost Roll pouch, which fits in there nicely. And then you have that same lanyard and tether where I just attached a pen / multi-tool. And then on the other side, you have a zippered pocket that can function as a place to store a water bottle. Now this is an interesting one. You can zip this all the way, which I'm starting to like more and more just because of the flexibility that this style of pocket provides with being able to store not only bottles, but you can use it to store pouches and cables and things like that. So I've talked about that in a couple of different videos. The implementation here is tricky because this starts to eat into the space from the main compartment. So if it's really loaded out, it can get very tight to fit a water bottle. I actually struggle to fit the 20-ounce water bottle that I typically use in the 22-liter version of the bag. It started to kind of poke up near the top and was getting snagged on some of the items that I have in the main compartment. So if I left it open, it was fine, but it was tough to actually close it all the way up. And so, I ended up using this as a good place to store my sunglasses if I wanted to, if I didn't want to have them in that front pocket, or again for pouches for my laptop charger. So still a lot of functionality to be found here. And then for smaller water bottles, it should work just fine. The larger size of the bag was able to handle my 20-ounce water bottle comfortably, but it did end up bulging out a little bit more than I wanted it to. So this was actually a great fit for this memo bottle that I've been using, which I actually really like the form factor. I like how slim it is, so it's kind of a perfect accessory for something like this where you don't want to take up as much space in the pocket, but it was able to handle that water bottle even when it's a little bit more packed out. So that's one of the benefits of that larger size. And then again, you can zip this up, good protection here, goes all the way to the top. And then on the back of the bags, you have the laptop and tech area. This is something that Bellroy always excels at. I really love their laptop compartments as they always offer a good amount of padding and they're properly suspended off the bottom of the ground. So these will be able to handle a 15 or 16 inch laptop comfortably. Currently what I have here is my 14-inch MacBook Pro, and there's the 28-liter size and the 22-liter size, both of them having that leftover space at the top. And so again, pulled up off the bottom so you can just drop your laptop in there. Very easy to get this in and out while you're on the go, which is always nice to see, particularly on something that you might be traveling with. So I'll go ahead and pull it out of both compartments, and then taking a closer look at the inside. It doesn't really have like a super soft fleece lining. I believe it was softer on the previous version of the Workpack, but still a pretty good fabric here. And then it comes up a decent amount, so if you happen to have a thicker device, it should be able to fit in there comfortably. And with the amount of padding that's offered here and the fact that it's suspended, it really feels like my devices are going to be very well protected while I'm on the go. And in this section, you have an additional pocket near the top. That's a great spot to toss in any tech items that you want to have close to your laptop. So in the 28-liter size at the moment, I have my USB-C hub and cables. This is what I use to charge a lot of my devices, particularly while I'm traveling. And I also have a retractable USB-C cable and an HDMI cable, but this is also sized to fit some of the tech kits that Bellroy has as part of their lineups. You can just toss them in there. And then on the 22-liter size, same sort of layout where I currently have my Apple Magic Mouse, and then I also have the laptop charger for my MacBook. And then moving into the main compartment, you have the clamshell style opening on both bags, which is always great for easier packing. I really like the flexibility that this provides. And at the moment, I have the 22-liter size with more of an EDC loadout, and then the 28-liter has kind of a minimal travel setup, so I'll kind of swap items between the two. Starting off with the 22-liter size, there's still a little bit of leftover capacity here at the top. This works well with my typical modular setup. So I have the Lockbee tech pouch that I've been using a lot as of late, my Beats Studio wireless headphones, I have the Evergood Civic Access pouch 1 liter, and then I also have the Civic Access pouch 2 liter down here at the bottom. And then on the back, you can see that Bellroy has added these elastic compression straps similar to what was on the Venture Travel Pack 26 liter. Interesting that it was included on the 22-liter size. It just feels like maybe it's not that necessary. I actually am not really a huge fan of this style of strap in general. I kind of would have preferred to leave it off. That was how the Transit Workpack previously was. It was a little bit of a simpler layout. You had a slip pocket on the back, which doesn't appear to be here anymore. So, you know, this can work well if you want to have something to kind of keep your stuff in place, press it down. It stays out of the way if you don't want to use it. But again, I would have been fine if they had left this off. And then with Bellroy, you have this cool new feature that they're using on their bags where you can store an air tag in the tag of the bag. So that's a really clever idea there. And then taking a look at the larger size, I currently have my typical kind of packing cube setup. So I have my larger compressible Peak Design packing cube, and I can actually fit that into the 22-liter size. Right next to it, I was able to store my dot kit very comfortably, so that also fits in there. And then I have a packable rain jacket, which could also be a stand-in for an additional pair of flatter shoes. And you can see that those same items fit. There's just less space at the top for extra stuff that you might want to hold. So really good amount of capacity. And then the 28-liter size has the same thing as far as the compression straps, which I didn't really use. And then you also have the same ability to hide an air tag here. And I'll go ahead and toss in my daily items into the 28-liter size. So it'll definitely be able to handle those easily. The pouches that I had, just toss them in there. My Beats Studio wireless headphones. And then you can see there's just a ton of leftover space here. If I had a longer day, if I wanted to toss in a change of clothes for going to the gym, lunchbox, I could toss in the rain jacket, and you know, That's why I like the larger size a little bit more, even for EDC, as it just gave me that extra bit of flexibility without feeling overwhelmingly bulky. And then on the other side, on the lid, you have a zippered mesh pocket. So you have some extra organization. I like the mesh that's used here. You can clearly see what's on the inside. It's not super elastic, but it does feel quite durable. Nice amount of space for any smaller items that you want to be able to reach without opening the bag all the way up. So one of these, I just have a deck of playing cards, but a great place for headphones, for chargers. You can just toss them in there. You can see what's on the inside. And like the volume that's included there, it can work for toiletries. It can work for maybe some socks and underwear if you want to keep them out of the way. So always a fan of these style of layouts, and then it stays out of the way if you don't want to use them. So I continue to be a big fan of this layout and the aesthetic of these bags, and really interesting updates that Bellroy has made. I'm a big fan of the changes to the harness systems. I'm sure some people will be torn on the organizational updates depending on how you like to set up all your stuff, but in general, either one of these sizes is going to offer a ton of versatility. They're going to be durable, stylish, and if you're looking for a really sleek EDC or minimal travel bag, these are going to be some excellent options to take a look at. And so to wrap up, it's been a great experience testing out the Bellroy Transit Pro bags over the past couple of weeks. You can currently purchase these on Bellroy's site, starting at about $239 for the 22-liter version of the bag and $259 for the 28-liter version. And so definitely an investment. These are in a more premium category, but they are really well-built bags that are going to have a nice feature set and are also going to compare well against some of the other similar bags in this price range. And so as I was testing this out, the first bag this made me think of is the Bellroy Venture Travel Pack, which I took a look at pretty recently. That one came in at about 26 liters, so kind of a nice middle size in between the two bags that I featured in this video. The aesthetic on that one is not that different. It feels a little bit more rugged and outdoorsy. It's got some attachment points, but still very sleek, minimal. It's got a really nice exterior fabric that felt a little more weather resistant than the one that's on this one. The layout on that one is also slightly different. It doesn't have a dedicated laptop area, so that's in the main area. And then it also has the really cool top quick access pocket that Bellroy's Venture line has had for a while now, so very useful there. Not that different from the one on these, but it does have that middle divider which separates it out in an interesting way. Good harness system. The luggage pass-through on that one has a different orientation, so that's a nice benefit for travel. And then a really cool feature of that one is that it includes a hidden tote bag, so you can tuck that away, and then if you have some extra stuff or you want to go with more of a two-bag setup, you can pull it out. It actually attaches to the back of the bag, and so pretty interesting system there, very creative idea. That one's going to be a little bit more expensive just given the fabrics and the fact that it includes that tote bag, but if you want something that's going to be a little more travel focused and give you that extra bit of weather resistance, then that's going to be an excellent option to take a look at. The next bag this made me think of is the Able Carry Max EDC backpack, which is another one of the newer options that's come out this year. Very versatile at 26 liters. It is able to hold an impressive amount without feeling overwhelmingly big. I like the updated layout on that. The front quick access pocket expands, so it just gives you a lot of versatility with what you can store. Good laptop protection, very comfortable harness system. That's something that Able Carry always does well. It has the X-Pack fabric, so it's going to provide plenty of durability. Weather resistance. It does feel a little bit bulkier than these bags here, but if you're a fan of Able Carry's aesthetic and you want something that's durable and comfortable, and that's going to be an excellent option to take a look at. Another bag this made me think of is the Air City Pack Pro, which has been one of my favorite tech and EDC bags of the past couple of years. It was recently released in Ultra Fabric, but whether you get it in Ultra, Ballistic Nylon, or X-Pack, it just feels really solidly built. I love Air's aesthetic, just very modern, techy. It's got a great organizational layout, super comfortable harness system, luggage pass-through, dedicated and well-padded laptop compartment, so it checks off a lot of the same boxes as these here. It's going to offer just a different organizational layout, clamshell opening, and so if you like Air's aesthetic or their harnesses a little bit better, then that's going to be an excellent option to take a look at. And then the last option that I'll mention here is the Evergood CTB26, which continues to be one of my all-time favorites. Absolutely love the organizational layout on that one. The pocketing is just super intuitive, easy to use. You have the dual external water bottle pockets, dedicated laptop compartment, really nice luggage pass-through. The aesthetic on that one's going to be a little more kind of subdued, minimal, slightly outdoorsy, but you know, it's still very versatile. It's gonna blend in nicely into a lot of different environments. The 26 liters of that bag is gonna feel a little bit wider and chunkier than these bags here, but it can hold an impressive amount. There's also the CTB 20 now, which recently launched a pre-order, so hopefully I'll be featuring that on the channel soon, and that will be a nice alternative to the 22 liter version, whereas the 26 liter CTB will be closer to the 28 liter here. So if you're looking for something that has maybe less of kind of the sleek, modern aesthetic, that's gonna be a little more rugged and outdoorsy, then those are gonna be some great options to take a look at. With that being said, the Bellroy Transit Pro bags hold up very well against all those options and have quickly become some of my favorite new bags of the year. I was a huge fan of the previous iteration of the Transit line, so great to see Bellroy address some of the issues that I had with that bag, improve upon it, and come out with just some really awesome, versatile bags. And if you're looking for something durable, stylish, that's gonna keep all of your tech and EDC essentials well protected and easily accessible, these are gonna be some awesome options to take a look at. And I'm definitely curious to hear what you all think of the Transit Pro bags and how they compare to some of the other popular tech and EDC bags that are currently on the market. And if there's any similar options that you think that I should check out, as always, please let me know in the comments. And I want to thank Bellroy for sending the bags for me to test out, and to you guys for watching and supporting the channel. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like, and if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and we'll see you in the next one.